Hello everybody, Hudson here, and today I wanted to talk to you about World War III. If you've been following the progress of the game at all, then I'm sure you'll already be aware of the launch issues that it had. The servers basically seemed to crap their pants and barely anybody could play for the first few days. The developers have worked tirelessly since launch and have dished out a number of patches that seem to have helped. I've spent a few hours playing and I wanted to share my thoughts with you. World War III is a military multiplayer FPS set in a modern global conflict across real-world locations such as Berlin and Moscow. Take part in large-scale infantry battles and gain the upper hand over the enemy with deep weapon customization to suit your needs, and gain access to a variety of vehicles and drones that will assist you on the battlefield. The game is currently in early access, and honestly you can tell. Rocky launch aside, there are optimization issues and some buggy animations during gameplay. You might notice in some of the footage a few of the optimization issues like sudden frame drops. I wanted to keep them in just to show you what it was like. At first I was playing the game with all settings on Ultra and it was giving me about 50 to 60 FPS, but it would frequently drop to around 20 FPS for a few seconds. This didn't seem to be dictated by anything that I could tell, i.e. it wasn't caused by lots of players being on the screen or big explosions, it just seemed to be a little bit random. I later tweaked my settings to be a bit lower and now gets around 80 to 90 FPS fairly frequently, but I still get those occasional drops where it kind of halves the FPS for a few seconds, which can make it pretty frustrating when you're playing because it kind of breaks up the gameplay and causes a lot of big stutters that are very noticeable. However, those issues aside, I actually really enjoy the gameplay when it works. It feels really good. I like my guns to feel like they pack a punch and the movements to feel heavy, like you're actually carrying big weapons, and thankfully for me that's how it feels. Headshots feel satisfying to hit and the general gunplay feels pretty good to me. They have an interesting armor system that is said to be the most authentic system in an FPS to date, and I quote, achieved through years of research and development with military professionals, ballistics, a weight system, full body awareness, vehicle physics, and an extensive customization system all affect the gameplay in a meaningful way. When you get killed in game, you're given a breakdown of the damage you sustained, i.e. where you were hit in the body or in the head, and it shows you how much damage you took in those separate areas, which is quite interesting to see and it's quite a nice little touch. Right now there are only a few maps to play and it can be a little bit tough to distinguish them from each other. The urban cityscape kind of looks the same on each map. There are some weather effects in place too, like sun and rain. And whilst aesthetically it gives a nice touch, it doesn't seem to change the customization already, and I will just add that it is extremely deep. You can change everything from scopes and other weapon attachments to camo patterns, helmets, the loadout of all your vehicles, helmets, the loadout of all your vehicles, almost every little detail of your character you can be changed to suit however you want it to. There is also this kind of battle point system in the game whereby when you get kills or capture zones, resupply people with ammo or heal them, you'll get access to perks that you can use. It kind of works like the kill streak systems in previous Call of Duties, whereby once you get enough points, you'll be able to spend them on things like drones, so you can have UAVs to spot enemies or to block radars. You'll also be able to call in vehicles and airstrikes and a load of other things that will help you in the battlefield. In terms of both the sound design and the visuals, I think they're both great. When a big fight breaks out and there's explosions going off all around you and bullets are whizzing past your head, it sounds brilliant and it really helps get you immersed in the game. The visuals are also pretty good. I don't think they're the best we've seen, but when you've cranked it up to Ultra, it can look pretty great, and the character models themselves I actually think look really good. The building textures, there's a lot of grey in the game, so it's hard to make that look great, but in terms of sort of the weapons and the vehicles and the characters, I think they all look really, really good. Some other issues I've noticed is around squads. It seems to be a little bit buggy at the moment. You can only spawn on your squad leader, which I think is the intention anyway, but that doesn't always seem to work and sometimes you just can't spawn on them at all. There seems to be a bit of an issue with spawning as well. I've had it a few times where I've spawned and there's been an enemy right in front of me, or the other way around where an enemy has spawned right in front of myself and I've been able to kill them instantly. There's no kind of spawn protection that I can see, which kind of ruins it really, and that needs to be looked into and sorted as soon as possible, I think. Overall, I actually think it's a really good game. It's really promising. It's just that it's got these little niggles that they need to sort out. There's obviously going to be comparisons drawn to Battlefield 4, and whilst I can see where they're coming from, I do think that it's doing enough of its own thing to stand out and be different from Battlefield 4. Would I recommend buying the game right now? I'm not so sure. It depends really on yourself whether you don't mind dealing with a few bugs and connection issues. Personally, I think the game's got a lot of potential and I really enjoy playing it, and I don't mind some of those bugs, and I'm very used to playing a lot of early access games that have bugs. but I can understand why that would put some people off. For £24 though, I think is a pretty good price. Maybe it's just worth keeping an eye on for a little bit and seeing how well the development progresses, and then checking it out at a later date. I have found that it seems to be cheaper on Green Man Gaming, so I've left a link to that in the description box below if you wanted to go and check it out yourself. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.